Hey everyone, so in our last video we reviewed what fractions are and we looked at how to find equivalent fractions using fraction pieces like these. But there are lots of times that we won't have fraction pieces with us, like if we're taking a test, we may only have pencil and paper available. So we have to start to move away from relying on pieces like these and your virtual manipulatives. So today, let's talk about how we could use drawings to solve equivalent fraction questions. The first question I want to take a look at together is this one. If I have 1/2 and I want to figure out how many fourths would be equivalent to that 1/2, I would start off by drawing 1/2. And I like to use rectangles more than circles because I'm just better at drawing rectangles and I'm much better at cutting rectangles into equal pieces. I cut my rectangle into 2 pieces because my denominator tells me my fraction has 2 equal parts. My numerator, 1, tells me that one of those parts is shaded in. So there I've got my 1/2. Now to figure out how many fourths would be equivalent to 1/2, I'm going to draw the same model, a twin of this one, right underneath. And I do it underneath because it's just easier for me to see if they're the same. Now I want to cut this one into 4 pieces. But I'm not just going to start cutting into 4 pieces. What I'm going to do is first I'm going to cut it the same way the first one was cut. And now I'm going to think to myself, well, so far it has 2 pieces. Where else could I draw a line to show 4 equal pieces? And I see that if I cut my rectangle in half sideways, now it has 4 equal pieces. So how many fourths are equivalent to 1/2? Well, my last step is to look at how this one is shaded and shade in an equivalent amount on this figure. Now I could shade them in anywhere, but I really want it to look like this one's twin. So I'm going to shade in these 2 parts because this piece is shaded in. I'm going to shade in the same space on my other model. How many fourths did I shade in to make my pictures equivalent to 1/2? I can see that I shaded in 1/4, 2/4. That tells me that 2/4 is equivalent to 1/2. Okay, let's try another one together. If I have 3/6 and I want to know, actually I'm going to change that to 4/6, and I want to know how many thirds that would be equivalent to, I'm going to use very similar steps to what I did for the first one. I'm going to start off by drawing a model that shows 4/6. So there's my hole. I'm going to cut it into 6 pieces. I'm going to shade in 4 of those 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then underneath that model, I want to draw the same model again. I'm going to draw it right underneath it. But this time, instead of cutting it more, I only need my next model here to have 3 pieces, not 6. So I'm not going to cut it 6 times. I'm going to try and find a way to cut it less times in less spots than this one. So if I had lines, if I copied my lines, I'm going to think to myself, well, which ones of these lines could I kind of get rid of or pretend aren't there so that I only have 3 equal parts? Well, if I take away this one, I don't have 3 equal parts. If I take away this one, I still don't have equal parts. So I kind of have to just play around with it and think to myself, what could I get rid of? Can you see it yet? Yep. If I take away this line that goes sideways, now my figure only has 3 equal parts. Now I still have to figure out how many thirds are equivalent to 4/6. So I'm going to go ahead and shade in this one to match this one. So this giant chunk is shaded and this chunk is shaded. How many thirds did I need to color in to make it equivalent to 4/6? I needed to color in 1/3, 2/3, because 2/3 are equivalent to 4/6. All right, great job. One more question that we'll do together. If I have 5/5 and I want to know how many thirds would be equivalent to 5/5. Well, actually, my job here is going to be a little bit easier because I'm going to draw out 5/5 and I want you to think about what you notice with my drawing. So there's my hole. I'm going to cut it into 5 pieces. And I'm going to shade in all 5 pieces. Now, what happens when I shade in all 5 out of 5 pieces? What did I really do? I shaded in the whole thing. Remember, any fraction that has the same number as its numerator and denominator is equivalent to 1 whole. So to come up with any fraction equivalent to 1 whole, all I have to do is make my numerator and denominator equivalent to each other. So 5/5 is equal to 1 whole, 3/3 is equal to 1 whole. What about how many 7ths would be equal to 1 whole? Yep, 7/7 would be equal to 1 whole. Can you think of any others? What about 9/9? Would that be equivalent to 1 whole? Yep. Any fraction that has the same numerator and denominator is automatically going to be equivalent to 1 whole. All right, guys, we'll talk soon. Good luck on your work today.